Well, I'm in car park 1 and this is the hottest lunch ticket not only at Royal Ascot but in the UK, and the reason is that you cannot buy a car parking space here. They get handed down from generation to generation, and as you can see they have the most spectacular picnics. Really beautiful. We're not talking vol au vent sausage rolls and pop here, we're talking top class champagne and black caviar. Now the Goswell family are here, Sir Brian heading the table. What have you had for lunch today?
We had some very nice beef and a salad with beetroot.
I love beetroot too. Tell me, how many years have you been coming here?
Well, it's over 50.
Yeah, as a racegoer here at Royal Ascot, you get a tremendous view, you get fantastic access. I thought you might like to see a little bit of the layout of Ascot. So if you look straight ahead of us there, that's the Queen's balcony. She's got an amazing view of the parade ring. We're at the back here, so Jensen's just presenting that award there. Claire and Willie are broadcasting from that little blue box over there. There they are in the studio, and then in front of the studio, of course, there's a magnificent statue of Yates, who's an iconic racehorse, winning 3 times in the Gold Cup here. Let's have a little bit of a history lesson as we're walking along. So Ascot itself as a racing venue was discovered way back in 1711 when Queen Anne was out actually riding her horse. She saw this flat piece of heath and thought, wow, this is a great place to let horses go at full gallop, and how right she was. But it wasn't until about 100 years later that actually the racing as we know it today happened, when the Gold Cup was introduced. Now the Gold Cup is tomorrow. We know it better as Ladies' Day. And that was invented really back in 1823 when an anonymous poet said, "Ladies' Day, when the women, like angels, look sweetly divine." And we all know that all the ladies on Ladies' Day do still look sweetly divine. We talked about the new fashion rules yesterday, so hopefully everybody will be looking gorgeous tomorrow. And then around that time, King George IV commissioned the first royal enclosure. That was a sort of 2-tiered affair with a lawn around it with lots of rules. So, for example, you had to be invited by royalty to come into the enclosure, but if you were a divorcee, you weren't allowed in. In fact, you weren't allowed in until 1955, and still access was restricted. Ascot itself looks absolutely incredible. So the 2-tiered affair from the 1820s, from the Regency period, is very different as you see today. It reinvents itself once every generation, really, every 50 years. And the latest facelift was back in 2005, 2006, where they managed to stick to their £220 million budget and create this magnificent racecourse, which is one of the most spectacular in the world. Now I'm in the grandstand area. You can hear the band firing up behind me. It's given out with lyrics and little flags, and everybody sits here and they sing, and it's a really, really terrific end to the day. That all started back in the 1970s. So you really do get great atmosphere here, and it's great fun. Might have a little sing-song later myself.